Hey everyone, welcome to the thing we're doing. You know, stuff and junk. We're gonna talk. We're gonna. So we're talking about gaming. You know, on the internet. You know, E3 is coming up, I guess. So what do you guys want to talk about?
There's a lot I would love to talk about E3. E3 is a pretty hot topic, I think, this year.
There's really only one thing in particular that I really want to talk about when it comes to E3, and that is the promise of The Last Guardian coming out.
Oh, okay, all right,
Man, I'm so excited because they first announced that game in 2008.
I thought it was like 1974.
It's been a while.
It would have been the
60s.
Yeah, they announced it in like 2008 or something like that, and. I've been a fan of Team Ico since they pushed out Ico. Shadow of the Colossus is one of my favorite games of all time. And when they first announced it, they did that like reveal trailer, and it looked astounding back then, and it still looks astounding now. It was sort of the lost child. Like it was it's the prodigal son of Team Ico, like the prodigal son of gaming, especially like PlayStation exclusives, because they had teased it for a while, and then it just went into production like design hell. And
ironically, 2008 was year Doom 4.
Yeah, wasn't it? Yeah. And then obviously last year it was announced that it was finally going to come to fruition, and it looks like they're keeping their promise. They're releasing gameplay footage this year, and it's going to be released.
They just said last week it's coming out this year.
Yeah.
Okay. They released a lot last year too, didn't they?
There was a big chunk at E3, and then I didn't see.
They showed him like when he was like running down that log, he was like deteriorating, and then it catches him with his tail and throws him around. That's super cool.
Yeah, it is super cool. Yeah. And they were like, it's coming out next year, and that was what we were told. I mean, we were told that in like 2011, 2010.
Yeah, I didn't believe them.
Yeah, I didn't believe it then, but it looks like they're finally committing to it. And
I don't know.
I do.
I really hope.
I have faith in that.
From an outsider's opinion, I would say it's pretty safe to assume.
Yeah.
But I'm not mad that they're pushing it back, because think about this, like when Arkham Knight finally came out, it was great on the systems. PC port obviously had some issues, but like they kept pushing that back and pushing it back. And Uncharted 2 was supposed to come out last year. And like it's just, I mean, Connor's played it. I still need to beat 2 and 3. It's from what I've seen, like the flashlight in people's eyes, they look away. Like it looks amazing.
There's almost an immeasurable amount of detail.
Right? Yeah. I'm okay when like developers like, hey, we're gonna push this back and make a great game. I'm like, all right. Like I'd rather come out 4 years from now than every year and give me a shitty game.
I'm completely in favor of spending the time to make it a great game as opposed to just pushing it out because like, oh, we have a deadline.
One thing that I think it would be a real good thing to talk about for E3 is Sony, and then just recently Microsoft are teasing like console upgrades, like the Slim and PlayStation like Neo 4K whatever.
With upgraded hardware and stuff.
Yeah. The interesting thing to me is the more powerful Xbox One is going to be like 4 times more powerful than the Xbox One you have right now.
I heard this.
There's part of me that is super stoked about something like that, and there's part of me that thinks that really sucks.
Right. The games are going to run more optimized with this, but they're going to try to make it so that it's still a great experience for both people that have the older consoles and the new one.
It seems like they're going to make their developers work on a higher spec game, then a lower spec game, and then a low end spec game for each console. So that's like 9 versions per game.
Which is kind of shitty.
It kind of really sucks.
Right.
Yeah.
In terms of quality, I would much rather play like the top quality version than like a port of that to the same brand.
The thing is, people that are buying they're not know about this and buying their PS4s, Xbox Ones now. In a few months, like in September, they're gonna push out this new one. I'd be pissed.
It goes back to the conversation, like the argument, like of when I had with my mom when I was a kid. It's like, Mom, I need a new Xbox. Like,
no, Mom, this one runs on 4K. It's hitting me. I'm in no way, shape, or form excited to get my hands on that more powerful console yet until I see what happens. But I am really interested to see in what exactly they're going to say, because hands down, that's probably going to be like for Xbox. That's probably going to be their backwards compatibility.
And I think if they do it right with like a upgrade, like if you get like, oh, you bring in your old one, you'll get this amount of money.
That would be really cool.
That's fine. I mean, it's still shitty.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do it.
Still kind of.
I would. It's like, oh, do this for an extra $100. Yeah, I'm gonna do it because I'm gonna get better.
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be more than $100.
Right, but I'm saying like, I mean, if it's less than 200, I'm probably gonna do it.
Yeah, same for sure, without a doubt.
Yeah.
If it's gonna push out 4K, you sign me up.
Yeah. So another big thing about E3 this year is I don't know if you guys know about like all the developers kind of pushing back and they're not like doing their own shows. They're doing their own like conferences. They're like not doing E3 presentations.
Yeah,
like EA isn't doing it, and I think it's really cool in a sense that it kind of lets them all be the star of the show.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but the last couple like EA press conferences, Ubisoft press conferences were kind of.
The thing is, we talk about EA and Ubisoft.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know,
and I want to be on Ubisoft's side, but like,
yeah, me too. But they're gonna be like, hey, guess what? We're having another Assassin's Creed game.
Yeah.
Well,
No way!
hold on a second. You guys didn't think For Honor was a cool looking new IP?
It is for sure.
No,
but like,
it's
for what I
For
saw
Honor.
of it, it just does not look like it's gonna be expansive enough to really keep me playing.
Is For Honor the one where you play as Vikings?
Yes.
Knights and-
Yeah.
Oh, I'll play it!
Yeah,
It looks great!
yeah,
Go
yeah.
play the f*** out.
I think it's gonna be Evolve.
Also, they showed off that game, making it look like a multiplayer only game. That game has a single player campaign.
Oh, it does.
It does?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good.
Well, the thing that I saw was like the developers like
Yeah.
showing their play and it's like
And
that.
everything they showed was just like multiplayer matches.
Right, it looked great.
That
Well,
game's
I'm
going to
sure
be
that
single player.
I'm sure that was in development first.
Yeah. So do you want to talk about some of the games that are?
Well, I was going to say we talked about doing predictions.
Yeah,
on the
okay,
show.
Okay.
My number one prediction, I want Black Marsh. Elder Scrolls 6 Black Marsh.
Ooh,
I want
yeah.
that. Give me it!
I've been waiting for so long.
I just find it really hard to believe that the next thing is Elder Scrolls 6 because Elder Scrolls Online. To be
Yeah.
100%
They're still doing it.
They're
too.
still pumping out those expansions.
And that makes me sad and mad at the same time, because I don't care.
It's fun. If you
Don't-
get people to play with, it's actually pretty
Yeah,
fun.
it's not bad. I played it
I
a week
agree.
before it came out. I got the early access.
And it's
for PC.
it's upgraded a lot too.
It's come a long way.
So I wrote out
Yeah.
like a list of my like personal predictions.
This
like,
guy's prepared.
You know, I just want to touch on things because Josh and I, in particular, love making predictions.
Yeah.
And it's so close to the show. I thought I'd do a couple ones that I really feel like will happen. A couple crazy ones. I'll let you guys guess.
Okay, all right.
Which one's which? First of all, I predict that Microsoft will unveil 3 new IPs for Xbox. They are in desperate need of more IPs, and it did really well last year, announcing more. So I think they will.
Right, what are they going to do? Like Halo?
What did they announce
7
though?
through 9?
Recore, Sea of Thieves, Scalebound. They did
Scalebound
not
looks
do-
cool.
Yeah, Scalebound
They
looks
didn't
cool.
announce
About that.
Scalebound at E3, but that's
Is that coming out
one
this
that-
year?
I do think
No.
the scale
It will, I think it will be
again?
like quarter 1 or 2 next year.
Yeah.
Think so?
I also have they will tease Halo 6.
Yeah.
6 months after Halo 4 came out, that E3 they teased Halo 5.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably safe to
Well,
assume.
you know, any after credits. scene
And
is
the
always-
day after Halo 5 released, 343 said they were working on Halo 6.
Yeah.
So I bet they have
What
something
else
to
did
show.
they got going for them?
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
literally what the
Nothing.
studio's for.
It's literally for Halo.
I mean,
so.
who's still playing Halo, right?
A lot of people.
I am. I definitely am. I also wrote PlayStation will tease a revamp of an old game, a la Jack and Daxter, Sly.
Oh God.
I'm calling
Spyro.
Spyro right now.
Oh, I'm with
calling
you on
Spyro.
that. That's
I'm
right.
calling
Maybe
Spyro.
Crash Bandicoot.
I
A
think-
remaster or like a new
Ooh.
one?
I think something similar to Ratchet and Clank.
Give me Jack and Daxter. Give me it.
Do you think
Oh, totally over
that
it.
that
I'll
that
take
Naughty
that.
Dog like has this kind of
I think they
the
planted
preview
seeds.
of the Crash Bandicoot
I
thing
think they
because they
planted
put
the
it
seeds
in
in
Uncharted 4.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
I put Nintendo will have probably the best Zelda teaser that they've ever had, but it will be their worst E3 to date.
Yeah,
Probably.
I can see it.
I see it's probably pretty accurate, especially if they're pulling out of the NX thing.
Well, are they
Like,
doing the
that's-
one with the female Link?
Linkle? It's a
Linkle?
it's optional. Yeah, it's
If
optional.
you say
Basically, you can choose. You can choose
It is
the sex.
tad bit silly.
At the beginning. That is cool. It's a cool. It's a cool
It's a
thing.
new concept.
No, yeah, I like that. You know,
Yeah.
I think
you can finally play as Zelda.
Let's see. I put Destiny 2 will have a release date, and
Who
it will be cares.
You're right. Who's
But why? I thought they were gonna do this like a whole 10-year
Yeah,
expansion.
Destiny's
thing for
supposed to be
Destiny.
Destiny 2 is supposed to come out this fall.
Well,
It's not 10 years.
That was
Yeah,
what I was
well,
originally-
it's like a
10 years
sequel.
of Destiny, as
Yeah.
in like
Mhm.
you gotta keep buying shit.
So okay, so
That's
they
not how this
basically
was.
It's gonna be like, I mean, they wanted to do like sequels like Halo, but like also filled with DLC.
But the
in
thing is,
between.
you don't need to buy the next one because all your characters are going to be like going through it. I'm just like,
My last prediction, I put PlayStation will announce only one new IP.
What do you think it might be?
Something along the lines of maybe Uncharted, something action related.
I'm gonna say I don't necessarily think PlayStation is going to announce any new IPs. I could see them.
I probably wouldn't be surprised.
I could see them doing what you said and touching back and bringing back an old IP, just kind of out of the depths of.
Because Uncharted to me is proof that they don't even need to announce.
Thank you. Right. I want a new medieval game more than anything else. Anyways.
Did anybody play Prey back in the day?
Ooh. That's great that you talked about that because I just heard that they're supposed to talk about Prey 2.
I said stuff yesterday. I'm like, for stills back in 2011.
It looked so
great.
Crazy cool.
Yeah, but he was like, well, Watch Dogs. I'm like, yeah, this was 2011.
Yeah.
And I'm like, even if they brought that game out like that, like right there, I'd still.
And that wasn't an Ubisoft game, so the graphics won't look.
The reason that I was bringing that up is because it's like it's pretty common nowadays to have, well, I guess not alpha or beta
in-engine,
but in-engine footage where it's they're testing it with their goals, where it's like, hey, this is what we want it to look like, but a couple years down the line we realize that's not really.
Honestly, they're getting pretty good about that though, because Battlefront I thought was the first game in a while that did that.
Dude,
because they had in-engine trailers, and Battlefront looks pretty close.
Well, even like Watch Dogs now, like there's mods that you can make it look like it did.
How it did.
Yeah,
right. That is really sad.
I will say, like, anybody you guys play Prey?
No, I did.
I did. Yep.
Okay, that was like I didn't play like first-person shooters back then. When that game came out and I played it, that was my favorite game.
I strangely think if they come out with a trailer that's just as flashy and engaging as it was in 2011, I feel like that game will do exactly
well, the way they do it is
like
a bounty hunter type game, which I think is amazing.
Yeah. Oh, it had such a great looking concept too. It was an
open world bounty hunter game.
Yeah.
Like aliens and stuff.
What do you guys think of Deus Ex?
I am really excited.
So am I.
Yeah. My roommate's pretty excited for it. So
I was just
as long as they don't like push out their stuff to the companies.
Yeah.
I love what that game is doing.
Because the boss battles in Human Revolution were terrible.
Yeah.
Story was great.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with the actual story.
The only other problem with that too was, there were all these endings, but the endings cannot be canonical with this sequel at all. So there has to be like one actual ending, which kind of sucks. But I want to see a lot of IPs. I think it's a good time to bring up some new IPs.
Yeah, now that Uncharted 4 is done. Last of Us 2?
God, I don't want the story to continue. I think it's perfectly fine the way it is.
I would like to see another game in The Last of Us world.
Yes.
Other characters.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe an appearance by Ellie.
Yeah.
Maybe appearance.
Yeah.
Not a main character.
No.
But I don't want.
I would
that
totally
story needs to stand on its own.
Yep. Exactly.
I want two things from this E3. I want from every E3 for them to just give me a new Elder Scrolls game, and for them to give me more VR. I want to see what's happening more with
VR
because the game that I'm on board with right now with the Morpheus is Eve Valkyrie, because that looks like the living shit.
VR, basically, it is either going to be the future of gaming, or fade into obscurity.
Yeah.
And I think this next year is really going to tell.
It's like 50-50.
I think I still want to have that, like the controller or some kind of like.
I think there's always going to be a controller involved.
Yeah.
See, here's the part that me up about it is that you have to use it, look around, and you use a controller.
Yeah.
Well, see, and does that negate the right thumbstick?
That's just that. Yeah, the thumbstick is to still control the camera, but then you just have.
Yeah,
I'm gonna throw up.
It gets a little disorienting, but the trick is you don't need that joystick. You just rip it off control, throw away.
we should probably wrap this up because we've been going for way too long.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys, for watching. This has been insert name here. We'll figure that out later. Again, I'm Connor. You can follow me on Twitter at Connor Jones with an E, and on Instagram at Connor_Jones with an E as well.
I'm Aaron Hunter. You can follow me on Twitter, Aaron Hunter FCA. Follow me on Instagram, Aaron FCA, or on Facebook, anything like that.
I'm Rusty Green. I'm on the social media, but not much. You can find me at FGU, which is these boys right here with me. And
I'm Josh McGuire. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Joshua M, JOSHWAM91. I'm also, again, on FGU, Future Gaming Underground, with Aaron and Rusty.
If you want to search YouTube, FGU, Future Gaming Underground, you might have to search for a minute, but it'll pop up. We do playthroughs, reviews, all sorts of stuff like that.
I'm Lucas. You can follow me on Instagram, LucasYork02, or Twitter at Lucas_York.
As always, guys, thanks for watching, and keep gaming.
Thank you.
Later.
Gonna say something, you'll call me crazy. Too many boobs in that show.